Welcome back to the Cardinal Sports Wrap here on 97.5 WOBN. Season premiere, day one. Seeing a lot of lanyards around campus today. Seeing a lot of scared freshmen with wide eyes, not knowing where they are, looking at the campus map, looking very confused. I was there one time. Elijah was there one time.
I was there one time.
And I'm sure our good buddy joining us in studio was there one time in Alliance, Ohio. The new sports information director for Otterbein University, Adam Prescott. What was your first day at Mount Union like? You remember that?
Oh, man, yeah. I had an early class.
Back in like 1903 or something like that?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Man, I can't believe I enrolled in college 11 years ago. That's incredible. I remember my first day. I had a class at about 9 or 9:15, I think it was, and well, got my best shoes ready and, had the best outfit I had, me in fashion. So, so I don't like to really dress up for class back in the day, but, of course, that first day you feel obligated to kind of look your best.
Well, you knew him as the assistant sports director for years. Now he's finally gotten the dream promotion. They've moved him out of the basement in the dungeon. Now he's up in the Reich Center. Congrats on your promotion, buddy. We're proud. How happy were you to hear about that?
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was really exciting. I started here 8 years ago as an intern in the sports information office. Didn't even make enough money to live on my own. I lived in my aunt and uncle's guest room, and came here with the mindset it was going to be a one-year thing, and I stayed on as a second year as an intern, and then between that second and third year, they brought me on as the full-time assistant, and then the next goal from there was to someday become a head SID, whether it was at Otterbein or somewhere else, and now I'm 7 years in. It's really exciting that the people around Otterbein and Don Stewart specifically and Bob Gaddy have recognized my hard work and given me this opportunity. I thank Ed Segudo a lot, our former SID. Really showed me the ropes. Ed's kind of a quieter guy, more of an outgoing guy. So for 7 years, I thought we really complement each other well. And, he didn't really have the reins on me too tight. From day one, he kind of let me do my own thing and create my own path. And, it's really helped me out a lot.
We know it's been a very busy summer for you. Among the summer headlines here at Otterbein for sports, about a month ago, Don Stewart officially announced that we'd be getting a 21st varsity sport on campus, and it's going to be wrestling. Had to be pretty exciting to find out about that.
Yeah, one thing we always do, on campus and specifically at the athletic department is, we survey our current student athletes, to gauge where their popularity is at or where their interest is on certain sports, and wrestling has always been at the top of that list. I think there was over 11,000 high school wrestlers in the state of Ohio last year. It's the third most highly attended sport at the OHSA championships, behind only football and basketball. So just from certain research we've done and populating or surveying the student population, it was a pretty easy decision.
Just means more work for you though at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's as far as from my perspective as an SID, winter is always kind of light. We don't have we've never had swimming. We haven't had wrestling in a long time. So if you're gonna add a sport, the winter time's a good time to do it, at least in my opinion.
Now, when it was announced, we heard rumblings that now there's 21 sports, so that means there's 11 male sports and 10 female sports, and I immediately heard people talking about Title IX. If you could tell us why this doesn't affect Title IX, or it's not in violation of Title IX.
Yeah, because it's about, like I said, surveying the student population, finding what's out there, what's of interest, what makes sense to add, what do you have, we added women's lacrosse, obviously we added men's lacrosse, but then we added women. So it's just about, demonstrating that you are looking at both angles from the men's side and the women's side, and showing that you are looking at different options. Equestrian's been thrown around, you can't really add swimming. We don't really have a pool at the moment. But it's about demonstrating that you are looking at, what kind of female sports you add or what kind of male sports that you add. And wrestling was the next step in adding a sport.
We got Alum Creek. What more do they need?
Yeah, there you go.
Is the athletic department, are they looking for another sport, maybe a female sport to add sometime in the future, or is wrestling going to hold us over for a while?
I think wrestling is going to hold you over for a while. I can't say for sure, but I think it's been such a process. Obviously a lot of people just see the announcement that we're adding wrestling, but they don't realize, how much has gone on behind the scenes, as far as what it took to get to that point, and, talking with this, getting it past its Senate, and, talking with the Board of Trustees and, going through all the processes. It's been a process definitely to get wrestling added. So, we haven't really turned our attention to another sport at this time.
And Adam, not only have you guys made headlines with the wrestling program coming up, but you guys are now on Twitter making headlines with a new hashtag. It's hashtag Bind Squad. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that and how it came about and really what you had to do with this.
Yeah, we actually have a new social media manager here at Otterbein. His name's Will Elkins. He was hired in the marketing office earlier this summer, and he kind of suggested. He said, "Hey, I know a lot of athletic departments have a specific, an official hashtag that they use, and then I kind of did my research and saw that, I think 7 of the 10 schools in our conference have an official hashtag, and we weren't one of them. A lot of people like to hashtag Go Cards, but the whole purpose of a hashtag is to click on it and see stuff only relating to your school or your topic. Go Cards, as we know, can relate to a lot of different things. So I kind of started enlisting the help of some of our staff members in the department and kicking around certain ideas. And Bind Squad seemed to be the one that stuck kind of from day one. Bind's pretty unique, and just trying to think something kind of unique that no one else has.
What were some of the other ideas on the table?
Oh man, we had Beware the Bind, Time to Cardi. Which I said, you could still tweet that maybe after you win a big game, or that's maybe more of a celebratory tweet. We thought of Cardi on or Cardi Time, but I swear I can't make this up, that when we researched that hashtag, we saw it actually is used by a lot of people when they're wearing new sweaters or cardigans. And like I said, I can't make that up if I wanted to. Bind Squad was very unique. No one has ever hashtagged it before. We got a lot of people that like it, some that maybe aren't as crazy about it, but hopefully it'll grow on them.
And Adam, we just started talking about fall sports obviously coming up and beginning next week. Obviously the women's soccer team returning a lot of experience, and the football team has some high hopes this year. Which of those teams, or of any of the fall sports teams, do you think is going to have the most success coming up so far? What you've seen from going into the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's women's soccer. I think, obviously, like I said, I hope all of our sports do well, and I'm optimistic about all of them. But, I think this is probably our best women's soccer team since the 2010 Final Four group. It's a really veteran team. That team in 2010 was led by 8 seniors, and we have a lot of upperclassmen this time around. We got a pleasant surprise in the offseason. Alex Ancona and Allie Stone, 2 fifth-year all-conference senior defenders, are going to come back. They're going to exercise a redshirt option and be here for a 5th year. I think, in my opinion, a lot of other people would probably agree we have the best player in the conference in Jillian Strimbu. Her sister's a senior. She's in goal. I mean, we have talent all over the field. It's pretty rare where you may not need a whole lot of freshmen to step in right away, or, maybe any freshman at all. But, Brandon Coons is a great coach, and, you give him talent, I think he's going to make you pay for it. So, I think he can find a way to beat you when he doesn't have the best team or the best talent on the field, and so this team, I think, is going to be the most talented. I think we're going to be a tough out for a lot of teams.
Football team coming off back-to-back 500 seasons, the 4th year of the Tim Dalp era. Lost a lot of talent from last year. You bring back a lot of talent from last year as well. A quarterback competition going into camp. Your head coach switching from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball. There's new uniforms. There's a lot of headlines going into football season. What's your early projections?
Yeah, I think it's anyone's guess. I mean, they're still deciding on a quarterback. I know Kevin Green's looked good in camp so far, but other guys are pushing him. We've had, again, Drew Irvin, our leading rusher last year, is switch positions. Or I guess Reed Hutchison was our leading rusher, but, Drew Irvin is switching positions, and we got some guys, some transfers in, and, a couple true freshmen that are pushing. So a lot of things are up in the air, but, I think we got a great coaching staff, and, I think there's a couple swing games that maybe, haven't gone our way in recent years that I think, they feel confident going in this time around.
Well, Adam, we look forward to seeing your many-colored pants in the press box this football season and volleyball season and soccer season as well. And it should be a great season for fall athletics here at the Bine. And thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.